allows us to take a moment to make sure that we appreciate the theme as well as toast to the future. So, stepping outside of your comfort zone starts with doing anything at all that you may have not been prepared for. And as we know, growth begins where comfort ends. So let's toast to being uncomfortable and stepping out of that comfort zone to ensure that we grow and blossom into the people that we are meant to be, both as communicators and as leaders. Please raise your cups or glasses or any beverage you may have and say, here, here's to becoming or growing beyond the comfort zone. Here's to stepping out the comfort zone. Here. Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you, Dumelo. Our meeting is structured in two parts. Our first segment is the prepared speeches, and then later we are going to be getting feedback from the evaluators. Before we dive into the first section, allow me to introduce my co-pilots. I'm not steering this ship alone. I have a dedicated team that will help make this meeting a success. Please help me welcome my functionaries. First one on the virtual podium will be our timekeeper, Ms. Leah Musunga. Can you kindly step to the virtual stage and explain what your role entails?
Thank you so much. I'm back on the virtual stage. Yes, as the timer for the meeting today, one thing we always say in Toastmasters that we always want to start on time and make sure that we end on time. So my role today is to make sure that I time the speakers, the evaluators, and most of the other items that will be happening in our meeting today. So for our prepared speakers today, when they reach the minimum time, I think most of them are doing 5 to 7 minutes. I'm not too sure if the icebreaker speaker is still speaking. So when they reach 5 minutes, I'll share the green, meaning they've reached their minimum time for speaking. So encourage those speakers to at least speak until the green. When you've reached 6 minutes, I'll share the yellow, indicating you're left with 1 minute. And then when you reach the maximum time, I'll share the red, indicating you've got 30 seconds to wrap up. And for our evaluators, at 2 minutes, I'll share green, 2 minutes, 30 yellow, and at 3 minutes, I'll share the red, indicating I've got 30 minutes to wrap up. My hand will be raised so that I'll be the first video that you see in the list of the videos so that I'll be easily identifiable for all the speakers. Thank you, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Ms. Leah. Our next role player is our grammarian, Dorika Oteng. Kindly come onto the virtual stage and explain what your role entails. Ms. Leah, can you kindly confirm if our grammarian is on the call? While we are still checking our grammarian, I can kindly call upon our counter, Arang Siska.
Yes, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and all our guests. My role this evening is that of an R counter. My role is to ensure that all the speakers this evening do not use a lot of filler words. So I'll be checking your R's, your arms, your so's and likes to ensure that next time when you give a speech, you can enhance your speech. So that will be my role for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Arang. May I kindly call upon our Hackmaster, Ms. Buipilo Mwalis Omiat. Kindly come to the virtual stage to explain your role.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The role of a headmaster is to draw the meeting's attention to the importance of careful listening. Listening is essential for powerful communications. Unless we understand what the speaker is saying, we will not be very effective in our communications. With that said, listen carefully as I will be asking you questions later on during the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Bui. Ms. Leah, is our grammarian back on call?
Hello, Mpo Kabelo, I'm not too sure. Were you coming to rescue us for the grammarian? I saw she had sent a message on the group. I'm not sure. I know she sometimes struggles to unmute, but if she's not able to unmute, since our first speaker is not available today, I wanted to find out, Hasina, maybe if you could just assist us by being the grammarian, since they're saying our first speaker is not available today.
Hello. Hi, Leah.
Yes,
Okay,
hi.
I will
Sorry.
I'll take the role. I'll take
Okay.
it. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Maybe you can just tell us what the role is all about.
Hello, everyone. So today my role as a grammarian, I'm going to listen carefully to all the words, powerful words, good vocabulary, phrases, idioms, all these rhetorical devices to be used. At the same time, I would encourage every one of you, whoever takes the stage, should use the word of the day, ineffable. Ineffable is a beautiful word and it means too great or extreme to be expressed or described in words. For example, the ineffable beauty of the sunset left them speechless. So today I hope our speeches would be ineffable so that all evaluators do not find any major any mistakes or any suggestions, or they are more of commendation instead of recommendation. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Hasina. We are now moving on to our prepared speeches. Our first speaker for the day is Sahan Wijesekara with a speech titled Tossing a Coin. I will now invite his evaluator, Ms. Leah Musunga, to the stage to share with us Sahan's speech titles and objective. Over to you, Ms. Leah.
Thank you so much for that, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Seems like we're just swapping. Yes, so this evening I have the pleasure of evaluating Sahan, who is giving his second speech. I think 2 weeks ago he gave his first speech. So the second speech is a speech with purpose. So he's supposed to present on any topic. So the speech is supposed to have a clear purpose. So I'm going to be looking out for that to see if indeed his speech has a clear purpose. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Ms. Leah. Please welcome Mr. Sahan Wijesekara to the virtual platform to share with us his speech titled Tossing a Coin. Over to you, Sahan.
In this evening, I have a small question for you. Have you ever tossed a coin? If you did, you may have got either heads or tails, didn't you? It's not quite obvious to see where a coin stands vertically on the floor, but the possibility or the probability is not zero. Good evening, Madam Toastmaster and all my fellow Toastmasters. Let me start with an interesting life story of a CEO who was a CEO of a US company. And as per the resources, it was a true story. He was born in a poor family, and hence he didn't have the luxury to get into the college. He started his career as an office assistant, but he was a fascinating dreamer. Step by step, he managed to become a CEO of a leading conglomerate at his late 60s. You know how achievers celebrate their success? Wearing expensive wristwatches like Tag Heuer or Rolex, acquiring SUVs like Lamborghinis, Bugattis, Rolls-Royce. He was into a vacation and he chose an exclusive vacation to celebrate his victory with his family. Now the vacation mode was on. His hotel room was facing a beautiful scenery at a lake. When he sees outside, he observed a young man was fishing. He was curious and he wanted to have a chat with that young man. He stepped outside, walked towards that man, and initiated the conversation. Hi, let me ask you a small question. How many hours you do work for a day? The answer was a chilling one. The fisherman said, I only work for 6 hours. You know, the other person, he's a dreamer, he's an achiever. He advised this young man, my brother, I want you to double your working time immediately. Then the fisherman asked, but why? If you double your working time, you can double your earning potential. If you continue to do so for a couple of years, so you can buy another boat. Then you can hire another fisherman. You both can work for 12 hours consecutively for another couple of years. Then you can buy another 2 boats. Likewise, if you adhere to my work plan, you can double your boat counts every 2 years. And one day for sure, you can cover the entire lake with your fishing boats. And as a most promising fact, you can even go and reach the sea. However, the fisherman had the same question. He asked, but why? My son, when you reach my age, you can come to the same exact place and enjoy the very moment, as same as I do, but in the shoes of an achiever. The fisherman was an honest one, though. He said, don't mind me, sir. I enjoy the moment, same as you do today. But for that, I don't want to spend that much of my life. This leads to the most interesting part of the story. Just because of we have demarcated goals in our lives, sometimes we delay to celebrate our beautiful moments with ourselves and with our loved ones. We just drag them till we reach what we say, our demarcated goals. But same as the all CEO did. And on the flip side, some of us just chill out with what we have. We just satisfy with the surroundings of us. And we don't want to push ourselves to become the best version of us, same as the young fisherman did. It's quite obvious to see the 2 sides of the coin, heads and the tails. But there is another possibility where the coin stands vertically firm on the floor. Few of us, a handful of us, balance our corporate life, finance, health, social well-being, spirituality, everything in a stunning manner, where it's similar to the coin stand vertically firm on the floor. Dear ladies and gentlemen, let me invite you to become the third version of the coin. It's rare, but the possibility or the probability is not zero. Having spread that message, let me conclude my speech. And thank you very much. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Hassan. A round of applause for Mr. Hassan. Thank you for that wonderful speech. We will take up your challenge. Thank you, thank you. We'll take up your challenge and become the third version of the coin. Up next on stage, we have Maduo Musotwani. Allow me to welcome Ms. Palesa Makato, who's going to be evaluating Maduo. Over to you, Ms. Balulu.
Hello, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, visiting Toastmasters, and our esteemed guests. This evening, I have the pleasure of evaluating Maduo Musotwani, who will be giving her second speech here at Toastmasters. The purpose of her speech, similar to the previous speaker, is to present a speech with a purpose and a speech that is well organized on any topic. So that is what I'll be looking for in Maduo's speech. Thank you very much. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Palesa. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome Maduo Musotwani to the stage with a speech titled Lighting the Path, Why Energy Access Changes Lives. Give it away, Maduo.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, but there's a bit of an echo there.
Oh, I think it might be the room I'm in. I hope it's not that
Yes,
bad.
please continue. It's not that bad. We'll leave it
Okay.
that for now. Thank you.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. As Balu has already introduced me, I am Maduo Musotwani. And for today's speech, I will be informing you about the importance of energy access. Okay. Picture this. A young girl in a rural village finishes her chores just before sunset. By the time she sits to do her homework, darkness has already set in. Her only light source, a flickering kerosene lamp. Dim, smoky, and dangerous. She squints to read, coughs from the fumes, and dreams of being a doctor one day. But her study time, unfortunately, has ended when the lamp runs out of fuel. Now imagine the same girl switching on a small solar-powered light. Her room brightens instantly, and she can study longer, breathe cleaner air, and see her dreams more clearly. This is what energy access can do. And today I want to share why providing electricity, especially clean energy, is more than just powering bulbs. It's about powering futures. Now, that story isn't just happening somewhere far away. It's actually happening in Botswana. And the numbers definitely speak for themselves. So according to World Bank statistics, in 2023, 76% of Botswana's population had access to electricity. That means the remaining 0.64 million people in Botswana, mostly in rural and remote areas, are still living in darkness. So this gap isn't just about light bulbs, it's about the inequality in education, healthcare, and economic opportunities between those who have electricity and those who don't. Let's start with education, because for many children, electricity is the difference between learning and being left behind. Electricity One, it extends the learning day. With good lighting, students can study after dark, prepare for exams better, and use digital learning tools. In some villages around Botswana, the introduction of solar lamps has increased exam pass rates because students can now revise in the evenings. And it's not just about students. Teachers benefit from that as well. They can prepare lessons after hours, and schools can use equipment that you might take for granted, your projectors, your computers, and even internet access. So energy access transforms education from a daytime only activity and into a full-time opportunity. But education isn't the only part of the story. Without electricity, even our healthcare, our very own survival is put at risk. Without electricity, many families rely on kerosene lamps and open fires. These produce toxic smoke or toxic fumes, which may cause respiratory illnesses, especially in young children. They also might be a fire hazard. In healthcare, the lack of electricity is a silent crisis in our country. Imagine a clinic unable to refrigerate vaccines or operate equipment at night. With solar-powered clinics, we have better childbirth, life-saving treatments can be done after sunset, and better overall healthcare delivery. So energy access literally saves lives. And when our healthcare is secure, the next question becomes, how do we build livelihoods? That's where electricity becomes a powerful economic engine. Electricity is known as the backbone of the economy. It powers machinery for artisans, refrigeration for shop owners, and tools for farmers as well. It allows people to start businesses, for example, like phone charging stations or solar-powered kiosks. In other countries such as Kenya, women-led solar enterprises have created jobs while giving communities affordable and clean power. Energy access doesn't just light homes, it fuels entrepreneurship, it raises incomes, and reduces the poverty levels. So whether it's a classroom, it's clinics, or small businesses, one thing is very clear. Energy access changes everything, and here's why this matters more than ever. Energy is often called the lifeblood of modern society, and without it, communities are left in the dark, literally and figuratively. In Botswana, 76% have the light, but 24% are still waiting. And when we switch on that first bulb in a rural home, when a clinic runs through the night, when a student studies for her dreams without straining her eyes, something magical definitely happens. We just don't light up a room, we light up possibilities. So the next time you turn on a light, remember, somewhere in your country, in Botswana, a single beam of light can mean the difference between poverty and progress, between despair and hope. Let's keep lighting the path because energy access truly does change lives. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my duo, for that informative presentation. We've learned why energy access can change our lives. Up next, we have Sekabo Malefo. We'll welcome Tumelo Mapalala, who will be evaluating Sekabo onto the visual stage. Over to you, Tumelo.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. Good evening, Gaborone Toastmasters, visiting Toastmasters, and guests. Tonight, I have the pleasure of evaluating Sekabo Malefo, who's pursuing the Dynamic Leadership Pathway, Level 1, Project 3, Introduction to Vocal Variety and Body Language. The purpose of this project is for Sekabo to show or practice vocal variety and body language to enhance a speech. That is, she has had a chance to learn about both body language and vocal variety and learn how to incorporate both nonverbal cues in her communication along with using her voice. That is including pace, tone, pitch, and volume. Over to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Tumelo. Over to you, Sekabo Malefo.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. Good evening, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests. Thank you for having me this evening. I have the pleasure of giving a speech called the Family WhatsApp Group.
Sorry, hold on, Sahabo, we can't see your face. Your head is
Oh.
cut.
Okay. Better?
Better.
Yes.
Okay, it's a bit blurry, but okay, it'll
Yeah.
do. All right. So just okay. Am I good still? Am I audible? Am
Go
I good?
ahead. Yes. Please continue.
See, I was excited when I finally got the opportunity to join the family group. I was proud to be sitting at the grown-ups table. I could participate, contribute financially, make decisions on what we do, and also just have fun, wish each other well, celebrate our wins, and also share funny memes. One day that all changed after Uncle B on a Sunday lunch suggested that we host a surprise party for our great grandmother. The following morning, on the Monday, a message came in. So who's hosting this time? Now, usually we would gather at my grandmother's place, but this is supposed to be a surprise. So the usual modus operandi wouldn't work this time. Auntie Tato immediately burst through and said, "Count me out. I'm tired of doing all the cooking in this family. It'll only be worse if it's at my house." The group went silent for a moment, except for a few little blips. Uncle B typing, cousin Matilda typing, my mom typing, then nothing. Now, what you guys don't know is that Auntie Tato runs a catering company, and she has been engaged by family members to cater their events for full pay, hence the confusion. Na auntie I paid for my wedding. Ebile Habiara I paid too much, typed cousin Matilda, with a painting nails emoji. Auntie Tato in capital letters said, "Not for the extra chairs I had to hire." Angry face emoji. Attachment, a blurry image of a receipt. But it did say chairs. "You still haven't paid me." Now, old great Uncle Joe came in. Cloud emoji. "I think it's gonna rain, Jeremiah." Uthatele booty. Okay, I had to laugh because I was confused as to who Jeremiah was because there was no Jeremiah in our family. Uncle B immediately said, "Okay, I'll host, but please be on time. I am tired of eating at 5 p.m. because the food is not ready." This is exactly why I don't want to cook for you people anymore, because you're not even grateful. What do you mean the food is ready late? The group went silent again. Enter a voice note from Cousin Ray. Hey, why don't we have a braai at the park? Also, what are we celebrating? All the cousins reacted with laughing emojis, and everybody went silent. The group lulled for a couple of hours. During the lull in the war, there was a missed call between, of all people, Great Uncle Joe and Cousin Ray. I wonder what they were talking about. Cousin Matilda came in at the end of that Monday and said, and shared a blurry Bible verse about turning the other cheek, which immediately ticked off Auntie Tato. "Do you know what? I'm done with you people." Auntie Tato left. Oops. Guess that's the first casualty of this war. My little sister shared a TikTok video with a dance challenge. And a caption, "No matter who's hosting, we have to try this dance challenge." And Cousin Ray came in with a voice note immediately. Now that looks like fun." To solve it all, my mother, being my mother, said she would host and that the issue was done. It really stressed me out because that meant I would be hosting. But as I was about to type a message to my mom, I saw that Auntie Tata was added back into the group. A message came in. Ding! A surprise party will be at my place. Don't worry. I'll go shopping so you can surprise me. Praying hands emoji, heart emoji, grandmother emoji. The message came from my great-grandmother. Damn it. We forgot that she was in this family group. I guess the surprise was out of the bag. But ever the conciliator, peace was restored, the argument stopped until the words came in. So who's gonna do the cooking? Ugh. Here we go again. Thank you all.
Thank you, Sakabo. Thank you, Sakabo, with that interesting speech. Thank you, Sekabo, with that interesting speech. Please share with me a link to that WhatsApp group. I will really enjoy being part of that group. Moving right along, our next speaker is Ms. Kagelelo Mogotsi. Allow me to welcome Mfundo Delihlazo to the virtual stage, who's going to be evaluating Ms. Kagelelo Mogotsi. Mfundo Delihlazo, over to you to share with us the objective and the speech title for Kagelelo Mogotsi. Ms. Leah, kindly confirm if we have our evaluator on call.
I don't see the name on the participants list.
They did send a WhatsApp earlier that they were delayed, but they were on their way. Can we have a volunteer to evaluate Ms. Mogotsi?
Hi, Leah. I can evaluate her.
Thank you, Tumelo, for coming to our rescue. Welcome. Please give us the speech objective for Ms. Kagelelo Mogotsi.
One moment. Thank you once again. And I'm back to evaluate Ms. Kagelelo Mogotsi as she also pursues a similar pathway to the one that just exited. That is that she should display both vocal variety and body language in her speech. And that, with that said, I have the pleasure to introduce Kagelelo Mogotsi with the speech titled The Little Things Matter. Little Things Matter, Kagelelo Mogotsi. Over to you.
Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. Take a moment. Think of at least the 2 things you are grateful for. Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. I know this verse isn't always easy to live by, especially when things do not go our way. But the most powerful shift we can do is to pause and be appreciative. I'll tell you how I sometimes start my day. I either stand by the window or step outside of the house just to stare at my car, something that I only used to imagine at the end of the day. I remember when it first arrived, my sister leapt with excitement. Tell me you have a name for it. I said, I do. I call it mist, inspired by the drifting veil of fog when it catches the first light, soft, white, and calm. It feels so smooth on the road. The music plays like a soundtrack of a movie I never thought I'd star in. I remember when I used to walk 20 minutes to catch a combi. Some days under the scorching sun, I would wipe pearls of sweat off my face. Other days, it was the bone-chilling cold that crept through my jacket and numbed my fingers. How blessed am I to be living in an answered prayer. As my heart filled with gratitude, a silent thought hit. You are grateful that you get to walk, to drive, and not walk to catch a combi. But there is someone who might be grateful just to stand. There is someone who doesn't have legs, who wishes they could stand to feel the ground beneath their feet. They wish they could fit into a pair of trousers or complain about leg day. They wish they could just walk. And suddenly my gratitude deepened. As I was counting my blessings, I realized that someone didn't wake up this morning. They had plans, they had dreams. They were going to change careers. They were going to fix a broken relationship or travel the world. But their story ended in their sleep without a warning. Dreams remained dreams, and plans stayed plans. Yet we wake up feeling ungrateful. While it's easy to focus on what we do not have, while it's easy to scroll through life comparing ourselves to those who might seem to have more, gratitude is a mindset change to look around your reality and say, this is enough. In fact, this is a blessing. I mean, think about it. You might not have a car, but you have legs to stand on. You might not have legs, but you have lungs that breathe. You might be feeling empty, but you have a heart that still beats. Your body might be weak, but you have a mind that dreams. You might be struggling, but you are alive with a chance to try again. You have hands, strong and firm to make your favorite soup. You have eyes to see the enfeebled beauty of the world. You have a body that still carries you. You are living a miracle that someone else is praying for. Yet, it is so easy to say thank you to the big things, the car, the job, the degree. What about the little things that aren't so little? That old phone that still works? A blessing. That friend who checked in today? A blessing. That message that said, I made it home safe. The loud noises and laughters of a child in a home, a blessing. That meal you almost forgot to say grace to, a blessing. Of course, gratitude does not mean we pretend we do not struggle. We do. But we choose to recognize our blessings even while we're struggling, because what we overlook today, we might long for tomorrow. And what we take for granted, someone else is praying for. Here is a reminder to you and to myself. Let us be grateful, not only for the mountain tops, but for the little steps it took you to climb it. Not only for the car, but for the journey it took you to appreciate it. Not only for the dreams, but for the breath that keeps them alive. Because gratitude in small things attracts big things. Thank you.
Thank you, Kagelelo. Thank you, Kagelelo, for that inspiring speech that teaches us to be grateful even for the little things in our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our last speaker for the day. At this time, I would call upon the timekeeper to come give us a report on how we were faring with time. Over to you, Ms. Leah Musunga.
Good evening, everyone, once again. So for our 4 speakers this evening, our first speaker, Sahan, took 5 minutes, 35 seconds. Our second speaker, Maduo, 6 minutes, 31. Then Sahaba, 5 minutes and 1 second. And finally, Kagalelo took 4 minutes and 52 seconds. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Leah. At this point, I would call upon our Hackmaster, Boipelo Mwalusi Omiat, to present a segment where she's going to be testing whether we've been listening to all the speakers here. Over to you, Bui.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. And good evening once again, everyone. As I indicated earlier, I'll be asking you questions, and I will start with this one. Who is currently challenging themselves, stepping out of their zone by updating the Toastmaster website?
Leah.
Leah.
Leah, that's correct. Well done. You got the first one correct. Let's move on to the second one. Who asked this question? Have you ever tossed a coin?
Sahan.
Wow, okay. And what advice was given to double one's earning potential?
What 6 more was it?
Say that again.
Work 6 more hours.
Double your working time. That's correct. Thank you. Who asked us to picture a young girl in the village with access to no electricity?
Madu.
Wonderful. People have been listening, I see. Wow, I'm impressed. What benefits come with access to electricity? Madua did list quite a number of benefits. Can you list at least 4?
Education, health, and economy.
Hospitality. Great hospitality.
I did 2
Good
more.
education.
Okay, that's the second one. Yes.
Economy.
Okay, it improves economy. And then the last one.
We empowering the future. We're not only lighting the lives, but empowering the future. That's what
Awesome.
in the meeting.
Okay. And then she also mentioned healthcare, isn't it? Okay,
Yes.
wonderful. Okay. What was
Hello, kindly mute yourself if you are not speaking. Thank you.
All right, let me continue. What was Sakabo's speech title?
The family WhatsApp group.
Perfect. Perfect. Yes. Okay, now what was Uncle B's suggestion?
They have a braai at the park.
Why did to do what? What was the purpose of that braai?
To surprise the grandma.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. And then what blew that surprise?
The grandmother was in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah,
Who's answering you? Wonderful. The grandma was in the WhatsApp group, right? Okay.
Guests,
What
feel free
was
to participate.
Yes. Yes, please also participate. What is Kalalelo's car's name?
Mist.
Mist. Wonderful. What mindset change did Kalalelo challenge us to have?
A grateful mindset.
Gratitude for small things.
Yes.
Not only just be grateful, you need to be grateful to small things.
Wonderful. Wonderful. You people have been ineffable in your listening. I'm quite impressed. Oh, thank you, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
you, Bui, for that wonderful Hackmaster session. Next, we have an exciting session that we call Table Topics. That is going to be led by our Table Topics Master, Ms. Leah Musunga. This segment helps us think on our feet and improve on our impromptu public speaking skills. So let's welcome Ms. Leah Musunga to the virtual stage. Over to you.
Ineffable.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And as our Toastmaster has introduced, this is a chance for our guests, people who haven't had a chance to speak on our virtual stage. This is your opportunity to come to the virtual stage and share a 1 to 2 minute speech. So just speak a minimum of 1 minute and maximum 2. So it's just speaking off the cuff. It's a great way to challenge yourself. We come to Toastmasters because we want to learn how to speak. So this is an opportunity for even our guests to participate. So I would like to ask, maybe I would like to ask a Toastmaster, just so that you can see how it goes. And then I will invite some guests to participate. So I'd like to ask Julie, if you could please answer my first question for the table topics. I know she was on camera. Hello, Julie. Oh, sorry.
I unmuted. I unmuted, then I was muted, then I unmuted.
Okay, all right. So my question for you, So my question for you is, since our theme is stepping out of our comfort zone, so my question is, what's one thing outside your comfort zone that you would like to try this year? What's one thing out of your comfort zone that you would like to try this year?
What is one thing out of my comfort zone that I would like to try this year? Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, the Topics Master, the guests, and the Toastmasters to be. What would I like to try to do which is out of my comfort zone? There's a problem there, that I'm only comfortable doing a few things. I don't have a wide variety of skills. I like talking. I like listening. I like interacting with people. I like coaching. I love giving speeches. I thrive on giving evaluations and uplifting people. I love to see people progress. But I'm not answering the question. Out of my comfort zone, there's about 1,000 things which are out of my comfort zone. I'd like to do something physical. I'd like to be able to go for a walk. And I broke my leg a couple of years ago. I'd like to be able to read more, but I've got cataracts in my eyes. I'd like to drive long distances, but I had a pulmonary embolism a couple of years ago. I'd like to travel overseas, but I haven't got the money. So all of those things are out of my comfort zone. I think I better just stick to what is in my comfort zone. Can I do that? Is that all right? Will you be cross with me? Because you know what? I think I'd rather be safe and not sorry. I'll stick to what I know. Sorry, not stepping out of my comfort zone. Back to you, Topics Master.
Thank you so much, Julie, for that. Very interesting. And that, fellow guests, is our impromptu session. So just speak off the cuff, 1 to 2 minutes. I want to find out if there are any volunteers before I select people from the list. You can just raise your virtual hand, or I see we have an actual guest whose video is on. Guest. I wonder if you would like to answer a question. I'll put you next to me so you can see who I'm talking about, because you didn't put your name, you wrote guest. Hello.
Okay. Hi. I've
Your name is?
disappeared now.
No, we can see you.
Umojo. I can't see
Umojo.
myself though. Yes, my
Oh,
name is
we can
Kumojo.
see you. Oh, we can see
Oh,
you.
okay. All right.
Yes. All right. So I wanted to give you a question, just an impromptu question to answer. So you can see how you'll answer it. So my question for you, like I said, our theme for today is stepping out of our comfort zone. So this is my question for you. If you had to perform on a talent show tonight, what would you do? If you had to perform on a talent show tonight, what would you do?
Okay, well, although people think I am a quiet person because I'm a bit introverted, I have performed the arts during my primary school because my mom, being a teacher, she always wanted me to be active in any school activities. So I would definitely fit any role that could come to me, as long as it is something that I feel would portray something that I also believe in as well. I wouldn't like to act just for a mere, just for taking part. I would like to act and portray something that I always wanted to put forth, and something that I also believe has to be heard, and I would love very much that it be heard from me as well. I think that is my contribution.
Oh, thank you so much for that. Yeah, thank you so much. There we have our guest who has also participated, Umojo, in our table topics. So is there any other guests who would like to participate? You can just raise your virtual hand or to participate. Oh, there we have another person. You can just unmute yourself. Unfortunately, I can't see your name because you wrote.
Hi.
Yeah.
Should I switch on my screen?
Yes, please.
Okay.
All right. So your name is?
Lisa.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Lisa.
Oh, Lisa. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Hello, Lisa. So sticking to our theme for today, my question for you would be, if you could instantly master any skill, what would it be and how would you use it? If you could instantly master any skill, what would it be and how would you use it?
Good evening, Toastmasters, and hello to you, my fellow guests. My name is Lisa, as I previously mentioned. That is such a beautiful question. I'm going to give a rather very funny answer to it. If I could master one skill, I think I would master the skill of being a criminal mastermind. My reasons behind that are, I think, I'd like to believe that a lot of the criminals in today's world are very informed, and not only that, they act on an impulse. I say this because I am a criminal studies student, and I have learned on the various reasons why people commit crime and why people feel the need to earn a living through crime. Therefore, I would love very much to know how to commit crime without getting caught, how to be suspicious, look as beautiful and as innocent as I do, while still mastering the art of crime. Thank you.
My gosh, you had me in stitches, Lisa. I can't believe that. I've never heard that. Very interesting. Being a criminal mastermind. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing with us how diabolical you actually think. Can I have another volunteer? Another volunteer? Oh, there we go. I don't know if I should say red. Maybe it's pronounced differently. You can
Yes,
unmute
ma'am, it's
yourself.
red.
It's red. All right. I don't know if you want us, if we can see you.
Oh, okay. Hi.
Hello, hello. All right. So my question for you, Red, is sorry. You wake up as an animal for a day. Which one and what's your first move? You wake up as an animal for a day. Which one and what's your first move?
Oh gosh. I've never thought about being an animal.
This is your opportunity.
I don't know. I think I would want to be a dove. I think I would want to be a dove because it's been associated with comfort, it's been associated with hope, it's been associated with good messages. So I would like to be that to someone, you know. I would really be someone that people see and want answers, or maybe to give hope or to bring peace, you know. Yeah, I think I'd want to be a dove.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Red. Wow, want to bring peace to the world. After hearing about criminal masterminds, yeah, I think we need some peace. So, is there any other person who would like to volunteer? You can see how easy it is. I don't think my questions are hard. Very nice and easy, and you can answer them. Anyone, you can raise your virtual hand, or I will have to select. So this is my final speaker. And let me try to just, oh, Colleen, there we go. Or I hope I'm saying, yeah, you can unmute yourself and switch on your video.
Hi.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, bringing myself out of my comfort zone.
That's good. And because that is the theme of our meeting today, stepping out of our comfort zone. So my question for you is, is comfort the enemy of progress? Why or why not? Is comfort the enemy of progress? Why or why not?
Wow, is comfort the enemy of progress? I think there's a balance. I would say there's a balance between the two. Take for now, for instance, now bringing myself out of my comfort zone. I'm hoping that this is the first step into elevating and learning public speaking. So comfort in this case, had I chosen comfort, it would have been enemy of my life progress. But there are times where a comfortable space is all you need so that you can recalibrate, then you can reset your timers, you can plan your next moves. So you need that comfort and that quietness. And in that case, comfort could represent familiarity, and it could be the advantage you need to get ahead. So I would think it's neither enemy or it's just a balance in between. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Colleen. Wow, very interesting. Definitely take on that question. It can be either or. And with that, that comes to the end of our table topic session. Like I said, it's just an opportunity to give people a chance to speak impromptu for 1 to 2 minutes. So if you didn't get a chance today, I hope next time that you will raise your hand and practice your impromptu speaking in our next meeting. And with that said, I will hand back to our Toastmaster of the day. And I think before I do that, since I am the Zoom master, let me just launch the poll for our best effort speaker, for the speakers that we had today, for you guys to vote. We had 4 speakers, so you'll see something pop up on your screen, and then you can vote for the best effort speaker. Then I will invite back the Toastmaster of the day.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Leah Musunga. We are now moving on to our last section of our meeting. It's time for the evaluation session, which is the most valuable segment of our meeting. This is where we receive constructive feedback to help us grow as speakers. In our famous Toastmaster saying, we say, feedback is the breakfast of champions. So to lead this session, let's welcome our general evaluator, who is none other than Ms. Tshepo Iti-Makgoe, who is going to be introducing the speech evaluators and also provide us with an overall assessment of the meeting at the end. Over to you, Ms. Tshepo Iti-Makgoe.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and our guests. For the benefit of our members and guests, I'm the general evaluator for today's meeting. I'll be leading the second part of the meeting, which is better listening evaluations. I have a team behind me to assist with giving feedback to our speakers, and I will evaluate the entire meeting at the end. As the Toastmaster of the day has highlighted. Without wasting time, I'll call upon our first evaluator, Ms. Leah Musunga, to evaluate a speech which was given by Sahan.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. And I'll give my evaluation in the classic Toastmasters in terms of what was done well, what you can do to improve yourself, and then maybe some suggestions of how you can do better in your next speech in terms of taking it to the next level. So Sahan, I know this is your second speech, so I must say congratulations for coming back and giving your speech back to back. Well done for that. I liked the fact that you started your speech with a question. That's a very good way of engaging the audience. So then we were now prepped up to try and figure out, okay, what is it that you're going to talk about? And then you went in and told us a story, you know, about the coin and the CEO. So it was a very engaging story, and taking us through, to me, it shows that you are able to tell stories, because I was able to follow along with the story that you were sharing with us. And then at the end of your story, you brought it all together. And then you went in and talked about, you know, like having that delay, how sometimes we delay celebrating our goals, and how even step by step we can still celebrate our goals. So that was a good way of sharing, of bringing the story that you had shared together with your closing call to action to us, your audience. So I liked that aspect of your speech today. So in terms of what I thought you can do from the speech that you shared today, I noticed because you were seated and the way your camera was positioned, some of your gestures were not clearly visible. And I know sometimes that is a challenge with online meetings. So you have to make sure that maybe you're sitting a little bit further away from the screen. Like right now, you can see me. So if I was to do this with my hands, you'd be able to see them clearly, because there was a point in your speech where you're like looking at the time, but we could barely see it because your hand was a bit below. So next time, just try and make sure that you position yourself in a position that we can see you better. And then the other thing that I also noticed is that when you're presenting your speech, your pace was quite fast. So maybe if you can just slow it down, then it also helps us to fully absorb your speech as you are presenting it. Because when your pace is really fast, it's like you're moving along really, really quickly. Then then two things that I think you might want to do to help you also in your next speech is that maybe as a way to challenge yourself, maybe your next speech, give it in a standing position so that your gestures are clearly visible. And then I would also recommend that maybe you incorporate your own personal story as a way of engaging your audience better, because whenever you infuse a personal story in your speech, it helps your audience engage more. Other than that, well done in presenting your speech. I love the way you opened and the story that you shared. Be mindful of your Zoom presence to make sure that you are clearly visible. And like I said, as a way to challenge yourself, maybe next time give your speech in a standing position and try and incorporate a personal story in it. Good luck in your next speech. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Ms. Musunga. Next up, I'd like to welcome Palesa, who was evaluating a speech given by Maduo.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, perfect. Good evening once again, fellow Toastmasters, visiting Toastmasters, and our lovely guests. And most importantly, good evening to you, Maduo. I had the privilege and honor this evening to evaluate your speech. The purpose of your speech this evening was to present a speech with a clear purpose, a well-organized speech, and I believe you did that exceptionally. I will be giving you an evaluation in 3 parts. The first part, what I loved about the speech. The second part will be what I would have liked to see. And the third part, any advice on how you can challenge yourself for the next speech. Right. So first things first. You told us what the speech will be about at the beginning of the speech. Energy access. We didn't have to wait until the body of your speech or the conclusion. You came right at the beginning and told us exactly what your speech will be about, which I appreciated. The next thing I loved about your speech was the fact that you gave us facts. There was a part where you said, I'm not sure what year it was, but 76% of Botswana had electricity in that year, which was from a credible source. And here at Toastmasters, as much as we love stories, we also appreciate facts as well. The third thing I loved about your presentation was the fact that you gave us relatable examples. For instance, you told us how the lack of energy access affects healthcare and how it affects education. It was relatable because as a Motswana sitting at home, I can understand if, for instance, I had to make this presentation and the light was off. That wouldn't sit well with myself and anyone else. So you were able to bring the information home and make it relatable. Well done. What I would have loved to see though, Maduo, is more of your frame in the camera. As you can see right now, you can see that you're able to see my gestures, my hands, my entire frame is in the video. I would have loved to see that as well on your end. The second thing that I would have really loved is maybe not to focus too much on the notes. I could tell that you had notes on the side of your camera, so your eyes kept oscillating from the notes to the camera, which tends to be a bit distracting sometimes. So maybe that's just something you can work on next time. In order to challenge yourself for the next speech, I would like to see you give your speech standing up, so we are able to see you in the entire frame of the camera. Otherwise, I believe you demonstrated your ineffable skills and knowledge on the lack of energy access, and I look forward to seeing and hearing your next speech. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Palesa. Next up on the evaluation list is Tumelo Mapalala, who was evaluating Sekgabo and Kagelelo. Tumelo Mapalala, please come back to the virtual stage, starting off with Sekgabo and then Kagelelo.
All right. Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Good evening, Gaborone Toastmasters, visiting Toastmasters and guests, and most especially good evening to you, Sekgabo Malefo, who gave us a brilliant speech titled The Family WhatsApp Group. You had us front and center of all the drama and we loved it all. So for your benefit, my evaluation will take the form of 3 segments, 3 things that you excelled at, 2 things you may want to work on, and 1 way to challenge yourself. First and foremostly, Sekgabo, you told us a story, a gripping one that had our attention, and we were fully engaged to hear what happened while planning Grandma's surprise party. In this story, we had ample quotations from everyone in the family group, sounds, emojis. The story was indeed colorful and brought to light what you were trying to relate to us. And indeed, you satisfied the objectives of the project, which were to do vocal variety and body language. In terms of vocal variety, you displayed all the forms, being pace, volume, tone, and speed, where you even used the beeps, spoke of or impersonated your aunts and your uncles in different tones, and indeed you satisfied that part of the project. With body language, you even treated us to a bit of a dance challenge, and you moved towards the screen, whispered towards us, signified that you were happy to join the WhatsApp group because you could finally contribute. We saw all of that. But however, I think the 2 things you may want to work on are your unintentional body language. Unfortunately, our bodies tend to betray us when we're nervous. And this showed at the beginning of your speech. You had your hands clasped in front of you, which can show us that you are indeed a bit anxious to be delivering the speech. However, you did grow a bit comfortable as the speech progressed. The other thing I think you may want to work on is the stage presence. The beauty of your speech was that you gave it on what I assume was a laptop, so we had a greater view. However, I noticed you only stood in the center and didn't take advantage of that view that we had of you. That's another thing you may want to work on. Lastly, 1 way to challenge yourself would be to try and incorporate a bit more intentional body language to enhance the speech, especially the story story that you were giving. There were ample opportunities to add more elements of body language as you progressed, and be mindful of this in future. In summary, Sakabo, well done on a beautiful speech that was engaging. You told a story, you used speech quotations, you excelled at both vocal variety and body language. However, work on your unintentional body language as well as your stage presence, and challenge yourself to incorporate more body language. Thank you. That brings us to the end of my evaluation of Sakabo. Now, in my other capacity, I also had the privilege of evaluating Kagelelo Mokgotsi, who delivered the speech, Little Things Matter. Indeed, little things matter. And I think in the same format, I'll give Kagelelo, let me say, I'll give you, Kagelelo, 3 things you did well, 2 things you may want to work on, and 1 way to challenge yourself. Other than succeeding in making me feel a bit guilty for not being grateful enough, Kagelelo, you indeed followed the speech structure that we preach here at Toastmasters. That is, you had an impactful opening. You opened with the scripture, you went on to tell us a story in your body, and you concluded with what we call a call to action. You asked that we be a little bit more grateful for the little things in our lives. You also displayed intentional body language. You spoke of how your sister leapt at joy when she saw Mist for the very first time, and you indicated how we like to scroll mindlessly through social media. The last thing you did well was that you used purposeful vocal variety. You showed excitement in the beginning and also used low tones when you spoke of other people currently experiencing misfortune. That showed us indeed that you were sad to hear of their stories or sad to note of the circumstances that they are in. The 2 things you may want to work on, however, are unintentional body language. Kagelelo, you joined from your phone, meaning the frame was quite small, and most of the time you stood like so in front of the camera. This showed that you were a bit nervous, but there were opportunities to relay or lay your hands to your sides and look a bit more comfortable. The other thing you may want to work on are other elements of vocal variety. Vocal variety is packed in that it has tone, pitch, volume, and speed. In your speech, you only used or manipulated the lower tone and a bit of a pitch here and there, but these all exist to enhance your speech. Please take advantage of them in future. One way to challenge yourself, and maybe this will help you in taking advantage of those other elements of vocal variety, would be to add speech quotations. You did in the speech when you spoke of how your sister asked you, "Do you have a name for her?" And indeed, that was one way that you displayed a pitch of excitement. However, there were ample other opportunities in your speech to display that you could use vocal variety. In summary, the 3 things you did well: you observed the speech structure, you had intentional body language where it mattered, and you used purposeful vocal variety when you needed to. The 2 things you may want to work on are the unintentional body language and maybe incorporating other elements of vocal variety. Lastly, how to challenge yourself: add speech quotations to add to the story that you are telling, which offers the opportunity to display more vocal variety. Thank you, and back to you, Tshepo Makgoe.
Thank you, Tumelo. And a big thank you to all the evaluators. Now moving to the role players. The grammarian has been taking our use of the English language and listening to the use of the word of the day, as well as points for improvement. Now I'd like to call Hasina to give the grammarian report.
Hello, everyone. Am I visible? Okay. Yeah.
Hasina,
it was
maybe
my
you could
privilege
move up
to-
a little bit. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, thank you, Hasina. We can see you.
All right, let me just adjust a little bit. Is it better?
Perfect.
Is it better?
Please go ahead.
Okay, so today we heard very powerful speeches, and I have picked a few good words: conglomerate, chilly one, consequently, chilly out, demarcated, ragged, flickering, impersonated, manipulated, betray, misty, cloudy. Yeah, these were few words. And I noticed two interesting pair of words. One was possibility and probability. There's a nuanced difference between the two. So probably, yeah, it was a good combination. Maybe speaker has chosen it intentionally. And the another pair was literally and figuratively. Though they have different meanings, was it misuse or it was intentionally used for the to enhance the effect? I'm not very sure about that, but it took my notice. Ineffable words, ineffable, the word of the day were used by only two Toastmasters, Boy Pillow and Kakalelo. Thank you for that. I would have been more happy to, I would have been happier to hear this word from many of you, in fact, from each one of you. What Julie has used anaphora when she was replying for the table topic question, that I love walking, I love this, I love to go. So these are the good anaphora. Thank you for that. All of the speakers, they used rhetoric questions that connects the audience. It was used initially also, and at the end also, one or two speakers, they have used it. So that is it for today. Yeah, that is all my report. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Hasina. Next up on the role players list is Ahang Siska, who took up the role of the counter. Ahang.
Yes, good evening once again. For our R&M counter report this evening, our Toastmaster of the day, Matsidiso, you had 5 R's, 4 Ms. Our timer, your filler word this evening was so. You had 5 so's and 8 Ms, 2 R's, and 3 S. Our Hackmaster, you had 3 R's. For our prepared speeches, Sahan had 3 arms, Maduo had 2 R's, and she kept saying twice. Sakabo had 3 R's, Kalalelo had 4. You kept doing them 4 times. You've done it 4 times. For our evaluators, our general evaluator had 3 arms. Leah had 5 arms and 2 R's. Balesa had the 2 of them. Tumelo, for your last evaluation, you had 1 For our table topics, Julie did not have any airs and arms. Komocho had 3 airs. Lisa had 1. Red had 1 arm. Colin had 1 arm. Thank you.
Thank you, Ahang. It is important to get our message across in the allotted time and for the meeting to run according to schedule. For the timers report, I'll welcome back Leah Musunga.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. So the timing for the evaluation session, I realized I forgot to time myself. Apologies for that. But for the other evaluators, Palisa gave the evaluation in 3 minutes and 19 seconds. Tumelo, the first evaluation was in 3 minutes and 7 seconds. And then the second evaluation was in 3 minutes and 28 seconds. And then for our grammarian report, that was done in 2 minutes, 26 seconds. And then our R&R counter report was done in 1 minute, 39 seconds. Thank you. And back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Leah. Now is my time to evaluate the meeting as a whole. We had a lovely meeting today. What the club excelled on, I have a lot of points, but I'll take these 3 for the sake of time. The meeting started well on time. Exactly at 6, the Toastmaster of the day was ready to start the meeting. Additionally, some few minutes before the meeting started, few minutes before 6, it was communicated in the group that the meeting was about to start. Therefore, the role players had to prepare. Furthermore, the word of the day was shared before the speech presentations were made, thereby encouraging the speakers and the role players to use it during their presentations. However, we could improve on the following: by sharing the word of the day on the chat so that it is visible throughout the meeting. The other point that we could improve on is checking if all role players and speakers are available to attend the meeting so that we can prepare replacements well in time and possibly update the agenda. Other than that, well done, Gaborone Toastmasters, for a well-conducted and well-managed meeting. And that concludes the general evaluation segment. Thank you, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator, for that wonderful segment. If you are a guest, please stay behind after the meeting so that we get to have a chat with you. Ms. Leah, over to you if there are any more announcements for the meeting.
Yes, sorry. Yes, we did vote for the best effort speaker. So I'm going to share the results for that. And before I get to that, in the chat, we actually have a link. District 74 has launched the emissary program. So I want to request guests, if you could please fill in that document. It definitely helps our club to grow, and it shows our district that people do attend the meeting and you are able to give us feedback to help us grow. So there is a link in the chat where it will take you to our website, which has some items to fill in at the bottom. It asks you several questions. It doesn't take quite a long time to complete. So I'd like to request, please complete that. It helps us as a club to grow. So I will just then share the results for our voting this evening. Since we had only, we voted the best effort speaker. We hadn't voted for the evaluator. Just give me a moment. Let me share. Okay. Okay. So they always say drum roll for the best effort speaker. Based on your votes, we always say each vote matters. So we had about 80% of people participate. And the best effort speaker of the evening was Sahaba. Ooh, well done, well done. Well done, Sahaba. You were voted as the best effort speaker. Okay, we didn't have the table topics or evaluation. And I think if I'm not mistaken, oh, sorry, into the next slide. We had Ahang, who is a visiting Toastmaster who are taken up our counter. So we always want to say thank you so much for taking up the role in our club. Thank you so much for coming to help us. And at this point, I wanted to find out from our guests who are here. Any guests? I want to just find out, how did you find the meeting today before we do close the meeting? How did you find the meeting? And I'd like to ask maybe 2 or 3 guests. How did you find the meeting? You can just unmute yourself, or I'll just go through the list and see, okay, guest with the camera on. We always want to find out how you found our meeting. Yes. Hello.
Yeah, the
Yes.
meeting. Hi, everyone. I hope you all had a very nice evening, as I did. I have observed that with public speaking, it looks easier than done. So I would say well done to all the speakers for portraying everything that they wanted to portray to us. And I feel I get more confidence. I draw more confidence by just managing to attend the meeting. And I feel I'm looking forward to attending the next one as well.
Oh, so are you a member in another club, or you're just a guest?
Not quite. So I was in an incubation program by Sigma here in South Africa. So I struggled a lot with speaking. I had to do a pitch, and I struggle a lot with looking at myself, really. I have spoken in many places where I look at people, and I always have a strategy because I know I pick a person that I like looking at, and I could easily speak. Sometimes I do speak at weddings, so it has become very much problematic for me to do it while looking at myself in a cell phone. And I think I am speaking much better today because I'm looking at you.
Oh, wow. Well, if you're not a member of any Toastmasters Club, definitely you are invited to join us here at Gaborone Toastmasters Club. We would welcome even guests from South Africa. You are free to join us. If you're not part of any Toastmasters Club, you can join us here. So good that you enjoyed our meeting today. Yeah, I think I saw a hand from Lisa. Hello, Lisa. Guest, just wanted to find out, how did you find our meeting today?
Hi again. I hope you guys can see me. I can't really see myself.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, we
okay.
can see you.
Hi. This was my first Toastmasters meeting, and I must say I'm absolutely impressed. I thought this would be a very rigid public speaking learning segment, but this was so fun. I enjoyed answering the table topics segment as well. I didn't think I was going to speak during this meeting, but I love how you guys have made public speaking so much fun. I also love seeing a variety of speakers. Congratulations to Sakabo. I loved her energy, how she presented herself. I also loved I think one of the evaluators, I unfortunately have name slipped my mind, but she spoke so well and so eloquently. I aspire to speak as well as she does. She was wearing a black top and she had braids. And yeah, there was also one other speaker. I unfortunately don't remember who it is, but I must say I'm also, oh, it's Julie. Julie. I loved how Julie was very different from how everyone else spoke. She brought a bit of theater to how she spoke, and it was very impressive to me. So I'm really excited to be a part of today's segment, and I hope to continue to join these beautiful sessions.
Oh, wow, wow. So when will you be joining Habrani Toastmasters?
Oh, today, as soon as I can.
Kakalelo, you heard that? Please send, please reach out to her. Our VPM will reach out
Yeah,
to you, please, and she'll give you the form to
amazing.
complete. Yes, we look forward to you joining
Amazing.
us. Yes, I think.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. I think I saw another hand. I think she has shared, Kalela, our VPM has shared details in the chat. I think I saw another hand. I did say I just want to speak to 3 people just to find out how they found the meeting. I saw another hand earlier. I think it had dropped. Was it Colleen who raised the hand? Oh, am I mistaken? Any other guests want to just tell us how did you find our meeting today?
I didn't raise
Hello.
the hand.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't raise the hand, but
Oh,
I feel
sorry. I thought
compelled
I.
to say something. No,
Oh,
I
but
really enjoyed it. Hmm?
okay.
No, I'm just saying I didn't raise my hand, but I do feel
Oh,
compelled since you called out my name.
okay. How did you find
No,
our meeting?
I enjoyed the meeting. I'm always I think this would be I've attended maybe 2 or 3 of your meetings, and
Okay.
always I'm always impressed by your timekeeping, keep to schedule. There are no overruns, no delays. I must say I admire that. And also the speakers, they did quite well. You guys, the Toastmaster of the day, the evaluators, we all learned. I believe we all learned. And as you can see from the comment section, everybody wants to join today.
Wow. So when are you joining us at Habrani Toastmasters?
I think I'll join the queue. I think I'll join the queue and join today.
Oh, yes, yes. I like hearing that. Yeah, I like hearing that. Definitely someone will reach out to you, our Vice President of Membership, Kahalelo. She will reach out to you. And we're looking forward to hearing you give your icebreaker speech. Definitely. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right. And I think I only have our one more announcement, which is just to say our next meeting is next week, which will be in person at Lifeline Medical Center. It's in Dumani. It's just about 200 meters away from Pula Spa. So if you find yourself in Gaborone or in and around Gaborone, next week, Tuesday, we will be at our in-person meeting at Lifeline Medical Center. I think our poster will probably go out tomorrow about that, and then online we'll see you 2 weeks from then. We always have 3 meetings every month minimum, 2 online and 1 in person. So if you're not able to make it for our in-person, we'll see you with all our visitors from across Southern Africa. You can join us in our online sessions. And as stated at the beginning, our meeting theme today was getting out of our comfort zone. And I think it's been very clear from our speakers today about how they are slowly taking those steps to get out of their comfort zone. And we heard from other speakers who also shared about their journey and their steps of getting out of their comfort zone. So I'd like to encourage all of you, our guests, our visitors, as we slowly approach the end of this calendar year, that you will take those steps to get yourself out of your comfort zone so that you'll be able to achieve your goal. Like the old Chinese proverb says, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with 1 step. And I hope you will take that 1 step today to get yourself out of your comfort zone. Thank you. And our meeting has concluded for today. I would like to request for the meeting recording to be stopped and any guests, if you have questions, we will stay on the call for a further 10 minutes. If you have any questions for us so that we can answer, but otherwise our meeting has ended. Yes?
Leah,
Yes?
say something.
Hello?
I have, yeah, it's Kahalel.